when I talk like this, sometimes I get a little fight, and I'm not anti-family. I'm not anti-family. I'm anti-family running the church. You know, and my children, my wife, they're very, very, very active in the church. But they understand that they can't go just because they're my children and rebuke a member. My wife can't go just because she's my wife and take that authority. And that's scary, how many women use their wifely authority to exert authority in the church. And you gotta correct that from home. Let me give you this. That's the true spirit of Jezebel. You know, we can talk about, and we do talk about it, you know, how Jezebel dressed and everything else, but we want to also talk about her actions. The true spirit of Jezebel was how she used her wifely position to really insert authority within the church, within the nation of Israel, which became a downfall. First Kings 21. This became the downfall, and because she exerted herself, and her husband wouldn't back her up. He wouldn't back her back. He wouldn't, you know, I don't expect anyone, and nobody's gonna dog my wife, because I'm gonna make sure of that. But she ain't gonna dog nobody. And we're not gonna have a mom and pop situation. This is God's house, this is church. There's an order there. Why is it that you can work at Publix, you can work at, any of you brothers here have jobs, or have had a job at a business? Where you work, sir?
Oh, airport.
Airport?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you work at airport. Where you work?
A roofer, Section 8. Housing.
Housing. So you work at housing. Now, can your wife come down there to the Air Force, because your wife is now calling shots at them people out there on the Air Force?
No, sir.
Yo, put that plane down. She can't. She can't. Well, that's why we gonna disrespect God's house, let her come into God's house and do the same thing if she can't do that on your job. She can't do that on a secular realm and go to stepping and start telling folks, we got to treat the house of God like it's the house of God, as I'm trying to teach it like it's the Smith house, the Johnson house, the Thomas house. This is God's house. And don't discriminate against your family, and don't become, because sometimes men become mean and bitter and evil to their families just to kind of prove points to people that are in the church. Don't ever do that. But you can't let that bleed into the church. Listen to this. It came to pass after Jezreel, after these things, that the book of Jezreel had a vineyard which was in Jezreel by Har, the palace, and Ahab, king of Samaria. And Ahab spake unto the booth, saying, give me thy vineyard, that I may have it for a garden of herbs, because it is near unto my house. And I will give thee for it a better vineyard than it. Or if it seems good to thee, I will give thee the worth of money. And the booth said to Ahab, the Lord forbid it me, that I should give the inheritance of my father to thee. And Ahab came into his house heavy and displeased because of the word which Naboth the Jezreelite had spoken to him, for he had said, I will not give thee the inheritance of my father. And he laid him down upon his bed and turned away his face and would eat bread. But Jezebel his wife came to him and said unto him, why is thy spirit so sad? Why is thou eating? And he said unto her, because I have spoken to Naboth the Jezreelite, and said unto him, give me the vineyard for money, or else if it please thee, I will give thee another vineyard for it. And he answered, I will not give thee my vineyard. And Jezreel his wife said unto him, doest thou not govern the kingdom of Israel? Arise. This is the problem. Y'all see where the problem came in? Where did the problem come in? This was what kind of issue? This is a house issue. This is about land. This is about property. What did she step herself into? Don't you own or don't you rule the kingdom? She took the house and used that house as a way for her to go into the church and start running and taking authority over the church. And Jezebel's wife said, do thou not govern the kingdom? Arise and eat bread and let thine heart be merry. I will give thee the vineyard of Naboth the Jezreelite. So she wrote letters in Ahab's name and sealed them with the seal and sent the letters unto the elders. Think of this woman. She done went from the house to the church and to the kingdom of Israel, and he allowed her to do it. But notice something. She did it in his name. She did his letter. How many pastors' wives are pastoring through their name and their letter? They're not officially given the title pastor. They don't officially have the role. Her name wasn't King Jezebel. Her name, but she was doing the position. She was doing the ruling. She's using his name. And it's very, you have to watch, because sometimes wives are using their husband's position to exert authority, and you have to see when they're using your letter and see when they're using your name and stop it. Because it shouldn't go into that place in the kingdom. That make any sense?
Yes, sir.
That's what threw the nation of Israel into a chaotic situation. Because she was allowed. Don't allow your wife to use your name, your authority, to exercise authority over men, to exercise authority over women. And sometimes that's really what's going on within the church. And eventually, you know, when you look at the scripture and the book of 1 Kings, chapter 18, look at this. King 18. And 19. And he answered, I have not troubled Israel, but thou and thy father's house, and that ye have forsaken the commandment of the Lord. That's not the one I wanted. I want 18 and 19. Now therefore send and gather to me all of Israel unto Mount Carmel, and the prophets of Baal 450, and the prophets of the groves 400, which eat at Jezebel's table. He ain't even got no table no more. It ain't his table. He ain't got no table in his own house. Them prophets eating at Jezebel's table. What? Because she done went and exalted herself into a place of authority. Now the prophets are sitting at her table eating. So that's why it's very important that you make the distinction and make the difference. All right? Any questions from Facebook that you might have? Any questions from any of you brothers? If we got any questions on this? Yes, sir.
So, when did Jezebel's spirit creep in?
Jezebel's spirit came in when her husband allowed her to use his name and the use of authority to exercise authorities over other people. Any other questions? Yes, and I agree that someone just wrote something that Hughes my dear friend who I love, said something that is so important that she didn't even steal the authority. He gave it. And it is so true. He submitted it. He gave it to her. She didn't even have to take it. And you know, and now that you said that, in most cases, that's how it is. Sometimes men just give that authority up and give that position up. And that's where we are today. That's where we are now. He wasn't man enough to stand up and say, listen, I can handle this. I can take care of this. I can take care of this responsibility. It would be embarrassing to me if Bishop McLeod, Ella Single, or Ella Wilson, y'all came to jump up to fight me and my wife jumped up. I got it, Ella. You know how that made me feel?
Yes, sir.
Don't you think he should have felt in some type of way, what you mean you got this? This is another man. Let me have you man to man. But he sat back and allowed her to do it and allowed her to get in that position, which really he should have never done. So I agree totally with you. Any other questions or comments? Powerful comment there. Any other questions or comments? Yes, sir.
I was thinking that that's why we see a lot of what we see today. You know, the Bible says a woman should teach nor usurp authority, but it looked like a lot of men are giving it to them.
That's so true. Bishop McLeod said, he said, the Bible said a woman shouldn't teach or usurp authority, and he's in consistent with what you're saying. He said that a lot of men, they ain't taking it, they giving it away, and that's so true. They're promoting it rather than you know, they're giving it, they're pushing it away. And I'm gonna tell you why. One of the reasons why some men give it away, because some men don't like to face other men and real men. So it's better for them to give it to the weaker vessel so they can control every aspect of it versus giving it to other men who may ask questions. Other men who may, you know, deal man to man. Some men have a problem with dealing with other men. So I'd rather have a board of 20 women that are not going to challenge me than have strong men that are sitting up that may say, hey, Bishop, what you think about this? Well, Bishop, I don't know. So they rather have a whole lot of women, and they surround themselves with women. And then what you create is a powerless church that has no backbone, no gristle, so you're right. And that's why they give that authority. It would be easy, it's very easy for me now to make my wife the co-pastor, the other pastor, give her that authority, because why? I run the house, and it makes it easier for me to run the church. I'm not intimidated. I'm not, you know, and I'm not, you know, I have a word. I know, she ain't gonna go. But others, so we gotta build leaders. We gotta stop thinking about our own personal interests and trying to reserve a spot for us and know that this kingdom work. This is kingdom work. I mean, stop trying to reserve a spot for yourself. This is kingdom work. The church was built with your money, your money, your money, your money, your money. You gave to this church. You gave to this church. You gave to this church. I can't make this my personal dynasty. And to save the church, because your wife she ain't got it. To save the church, then, and if I really care about the church, I'm gonna make a decision as what's in the best interest of the church. If I really care about the church, and that's what you guys have to do. You have to realize this is not ours, this is God's. And years from now, I speak this message today, and I speak it here at the Church of God, the Bible Way Mother Church. And Mother Maya's husband died. And when he died, the women in this church said to her, Mother, we think you ought to be the pastor. Bishop started, you ought to be the pastor. I came here at 15 years old. I was actually 14 when I first stepped foot in here. And Mother Myers said to me, she said, I don't believe in no woman having no authority over no man. And she said, these women trying to get me to pastor, and I know that ain't the right way. That's what she said. She said, we got to have a man. And so I said, well, Mother, I'll help you out. I'll be there. And me coming from a background where they had women pastors and all that, I said, well, to me, because I was looking and said, well, I don't know who y'all going to get. You know, because I'm evangelizing. And I'm going about. But she came to me, she said, the Lord said, you're the one. Now and not did she say that, but she relinquished the authority. She relinquished the authority. Made sure that she relinquished that authority and allowed me to do what I was supposed to do as a pastor. And now look, almost 40 years later, over 30 years later, we went from the little small church with 8 members to over hundreds of congregations. Where'd it come from? Somebody saying, we need to do what's right. This ain't my church. This ain't mine. This belongs to the Lord. This is God's work. But people today, they're more interested in trying to keep that authority and trying to keep it rather than the growth of it, and trying to master and trying to let it grow and trying to get it. Look where it is now. Look, it's good. It really is. It's really good to go in a church and feel that it's not just family. Family is there, but it's not just family. To go in there and see all these souls. Look at the souls. Look at the men. Look at the folk, and to see a real solid structure now.
Yes, yes.
That you're confident, Bishop, if you sleep tonight, it's gonna go on. I'm confident if I sleep tonight, it's going to go on. That we got men that can carry on, men that can develop. And to look through the congregation and see all these strong men that can lead devotion, that can open business meetings, structure, and hold the church and keep the church and keep it going. To be over here, all the men here and the women of God over there having their own thing and having their own meeting and everybody's in order and we over here, that comes by releasing something to other people and trusting them. Yes, we're going to have some folk that's going to hurt us. You've been hurt. I've been hurt. We've given people authority that have hurt us and given and people. But the point is, am I going to sit around here and cripple the ministry? And that's what you got to get that way, brother. No, I want the best. I want the best. And put that spirit in your wife that even if you're not there, that she'll stand behind those men and not kill them, not destroy them. Because she may have more influence than that man that you're seeing. Because she's your wife. So she can sit there and kill him. You got to teach us that, honey. You support him. So when you go on, Bishop, or when you go on, Ella singing, your wife said, well, oh no, the pastor left him in charge, and she don't say it with an attitude.
Right.
Oh, he in charge. That's them. You know, they got them men. That's that man thing. That's them. No, then she said, oh no, praise the Lord. We need to talk to Minister so and so because he's the one in charge tonight, and pastor left him in charge. And she go to him and say, hey, is it okay, brother? You know, that we do this. I don't know what pastor left for you, so is it, you know, am I okay to do this? That's important. That's important. And then when your wife respect them men will respect her. They'll say, you know what? That's Sister Coward, that's Sister Singleton, that's Sister, oh, y'all, look out for them because they see her honoring them. Instead, if that right spirit ain't there, she'll either tell you the relationship between you and the men or get jealous of you in the relationship with the men. Y'all always spending time with them. You need to well, you better look out. These folks, they gonna hurt you. Oh, that's all. Oh, okay, one day, who gonna be there when you need this? No. And it's hurtful to pastor like that. It's hurtful. And so many of you haven't got to that point yet. That's why I'm teaching these lessons yet. You haven't got to that point where it's a challenge because some of you are still in there where you only have that small city. But as it go grow, that becomes some of the challenges that pastors have. That becomes some of the issues that pastors have. And guess what? Now you got a wife that would rather keep a small church than a growing church. Because the smaller it gets, unless they're dumb people that's coming in. Unless they're, and I say dumb people, I mean people that have no education, people that have no skill, people that have no knowledge, people that have no voice. Then they don't mind them coming. But then she'll keep doing crazy stuff to run them away. Doing all kinds of stuff to run them away because she's intimidated. She's intimidated. She'll find something about this one, something wrong with her, something wrong with him, something wrong with that one, something wrong with them, and then run them off, run them off, run them off. As fast as the church goes, run them off. She's protecting her interests. Because a good man that's strong and can help you come in, run him away. I look at that pulpit is full of men. I see you coming, you got men with you everywhere. Full of men coming with you. You got security in the kingdom. Amen.
Amen.
Hallelujah. I hope I'm saying something that will help you, brothers. I just want to help y'all so you'll understand where you're going as the church starts growing, and talk to your wives before it get there. Get them before you. I put that in, Sister Coward, so I put that in her soul, because when we transitioned from here, Sister Coward was on the finance team one time when the church grew. I told her she had to get off of that. I moved her grandmother off of that because the finance, there was too much coming in for us there. Then I moved up from doing all the devotion. Sister Coward used to lead devotion. She was the #1 devotion leader. I moved her. I moved her from the women's department locally. Put somebody else because I wanted her. But when you understand kingdom, you don't get all these kind of attitudes, and the man got to live with it. You make a change in the church, you got to live with it at home, and you got to, no. The decisions I'm making in the church are my spiritual decisions that God has given me to make for the best interest of the church. And she never brought it home to discuss. Never brought it home because I had tried to secure that. And so y'all start doing that now. Start doing it now. And then start while you're young, putting other people involved to do as they start maturing. Teach some other people to do Sunday school. Teach some other people to do that. If you go around and watch the church, y'all see people everywhere doing something. People working everywhere. I mean, it's everywhere. And but the worst thing you can do for you, pastor, is to have to deal with that kind of spirit. You won't rest at night. You won't sleep at night. She's gonna be in your ear. There's always a dream. There's always a vision. There's always something wrong with the people in the church, the brothers in the church. Always something wrong because she's protecting her interests. You let her know, say, honey, you go ahead. You're gonna have a dream and going back to sleep. Now I got to hear from God. Go ahead, have a vision, and I respect your dream. I respect your dream, and I'm on him. But I ain't gonna be led. Let me learn, brother so and so for myself. Let me learn, sister so and so for myself. And what damages, we get all that information that they're pouring in, and then we process it. And we start acting different toward people and start pushing people away and knocking people away and those kind of things. Then we end up in there by ourselves because eventually we done turned against everybody in the church because what we hear. And then you'd be there by yourself, and then the people feel that. Don't let her attack them brothers. It's amazing, and isn't amazing that the Jezebel spirit attacks men, and then when they can't attack men, they do something to attack their wives. Because if you attack my wife, then you got me. And then I'm gonna go and take my wife and we gone.
Yes, sir.
There are people that skillfully
Yes, sir.
know how to empty a church. And they empty the church for the sake of protection. I had people like that, Bishop, in the church, and I didn't even know they were there. people will be saved and little small nasty things that they do and nasty things that they say and nasty things that was happening behind the scene. The people never showed up. And it was always people that didn't gravitate to them that had education that could help better the ministry. They were trying to protect their office. Because let me tell you this is what sometimes what people want. If you got a musician that's a keyboard player and another keyboard player come in, you know what? You weaken his monopoly over the church. That's why if they get the devil in them, you ain't got to beg them, you got somebody else. So they see people coming that's similar to them that got the same kind of experience and that can do everything they can do. That can happen. That happens. They flexing their muscles, but when God starts sending people, then eliminate that. And then God forbid if you got somebody that using their leverage to do over you, their financial leverage to do, and God starts sending somebody else, they get mad, man. They get upset. Because now I can't use that leverage over you. And y'all know sometimes we have to utilize people that we really don't want to utilize because they got the monopoly of the gift.
Yes, sir.
And God started raising up other people, boy, and started making them mad. Here you are, the church is rejoicing because we got 50 new souls, and they get an attitude when the church grows. They start acting funny and got an attitude when the church grows. You can't figure out what it is. That's that Jezebel spirit. All right, let me get out of here.
Amen.
No questions, no questions, no questions, no questions. All right, Lord bless you.